So I feel like if I got to go through your phone, I got to check your DMs, I got to check your messengers. I got to call you every 5 minutes to see where you at. I got to put air tags in your car. I got to check with your homegirls to make sure you're actually with them when you tell me that you are. I got to check your Instagram every 10 minutes to make sure you ain't posted up with another dude. If I have to do all of this, why am I with you? Why are you with me? Because that's a full-time job. Am I getting paid for this? Oh, okay. Because if I'm not, this is a waste of time. I'm going to find somebody else. Oh, don't worry. I'll explain all that later. No, scratch that. I'm going to explain all that right now. Let's start the show.
Ever been left speechless by the ridiculousness of modern dating? Or maybe you're more old school. Yeah, like seriously, what were we thinking with those pickup lines in the 90s? This is I'll Explain All This Later, the podcast where we dissect the crazy world of relationships. From dating app disasters to in-law interventions, we'll cover it all. Now, some of our takes might be a little hot, but hey, that's what you get when you press play and tune in. We'll explain the logic behind it all. Eventually. Anyway, let's dive in. Here are your hosts, Big Smash, Nira Muhammad, and Rose Gold.
Because sometimes I feel like that. I don't do like a complete, but I do a little bit every time, a little bit. Because I think we evolve as podcasters, you know? And so every time we evolve as artists and as creatives, that's going to look a little different. And so we need space to be able to do that. And so I'm here for it.
All right, y'all. In case y'all are under a rock, we got Karynelle in the building. Y'all know what this is, man. I'll explain all this later podcast. Karynelle is officially the second guest to jump on I'll Explain All This Later.
That's right.
Karynelle, introduce yourself one time for the good people.
I am Karynelle. I am the voice and visionary of Say It Loud podcast, where we talk about everything from millenniums to music with, you know, a dash of fuckery on top, because it is what it is. So we keep it real. We have a good time. And, you know, Say It Loud is really about just people living out loud and having a good time. I feel like there's so much other bad things going on in the world that I want my 45 minutes or the time people spend with me that they just smile until their cheeks hurt.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Listen, Karynelle has appeared on my old platform, so it was only right that I bring her along for this platform. Tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8. Tonight is jealousy and insecurity. All right. The topic, overcoming jealousy. All right. Scenario, you feel jealous when your partner spends times with their friends of the opposite sex. Tonight, we're going to dive into the roots of jealousy and strategies for building self-confidence and trust in a relationship. Karynelle, how do you feel that our listeners should deal with this scenario?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that more people are insecure than they think they are. You know, there's this idea that let's walk around and be tough and act like we don't care, but we do. And then there's also this idea of like we're adults and we don't know how to communicate. So there's that. There's multi-layers of this, right? And then where is these insecurities coming from? Because I think before we start talking about how we're going to work together to get over insecurity in a relationship or with a partner, you got to really figure out what's going on inside of you too that's causing you to feel that way, right? Because it could be your partner or something your partner did, but it could very well also be something you're carrying around that got nothing to do with somebody else. And you need to figure out what that is before you kind of like throw that insecurity on somebody else. Because there's a lot of people that are insecure from something that happened in a relationship with somebody else. Like this person did that to you, so now you treating me like I'm gonna do that to you. Or you couldn't trust that person, so now you acting like you can't trust me. So I think that sometimes people gotta really like reprogram themselves before they start analyzing the insecurity in the relationship and the partner and all that kind of stuff. And then you can dig into that if that's there. But you really gotta look at yourself and also wonder like, why do I feel insecure? Why do I feel jealous?
All right, so look, right? I'm very big on this topic. And the reason being, I had a lot of trust issues towards me in the relationships that I was in. Now, mainly because I was a cheater. I was out here. I was wild. I can't sugarcoat that enough. So a lot of times when I got accused of cheating, it's because I actually was.
Right.
But I was going to make you feel like, yo, it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was me, but I was going to make you feel like you was the cause of my cheating. Now,
right.
In this scenario here, fellas and ladies can just be friends.
Yes.
Okay? They can just be friends. Platonic friends. Now, I don't buy the whole, oh, that's just my brother. Don't tell anybody I'm your brother, especially if I seen you naked. We can't. Don't do that. I tell that man the truth. I think he will respect you more if you like, well, we used to smash, but we ain't smashing no more. Don't come off saying, oh, I don't even look at him like that, knowing damn well you have looked at him like that.
But the truth of the matter is men are a lot more instinctual sometimes than women, believe it or not. And so you could tell your man, nah, he just my brother, but your man is already going to know by the way that you act and move in this man's presence, by the way he moves and touch you and hold your hand and a conversation that y'all are comfortable having. He already knows. He knows because he knows what your relationship is like with the mailman, and he knows what your relationship is like with your cousin, and he knows what your relationship is like with the work husband.
I just know how dudes operate because I used to be that dude. Like we cool. But if I am attracted to you, there's no way I can just be your friend. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to even fake the front and act like, we could be cool knowing that I want to smash. Now, there are women in my life right now that I consider my sisters. And the reason is based off the friendship that we have had over the years. We've never had relations. We've never thought about being together. We've never liked each other like that. This is like real family to me. So it can be done. But what it is now that I'm starting to see a lot of is people playing the front. Like they'll play that role. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be your friend now. But the minute that whoever you dealing with messes up, I'm going to be right here. And how do I know so much about that? That used to be me.
Right. Didn't that just happened to some celebrity? He was with his wife 27 years. And that woman was his best friend. I think it was Blair Underwood. And that woman was his best friend for 27 years. And then he would divorce his wife. And like a year later, that was the woman that was his best friend for 27 years was the woman he ended up marrying a year and a half after he got divorced. Mind you, he was married to his wife like 27 years.
Yeah. Everybody just be playing their role. I'm not waiting on 27 years, though.
But that's crazy to know that woman was standing there for 27 years waiting. That like, damn, you was at my house. You was holding my kids. You was at my barbecues talking about y'all best friends.
Oh, yeah. Men can always tell when another man wants to smash. We can always tell. And women can do the same thing. So I don't have a problem with my lady hanging out with the opposite sex. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But Tank once had a song that said, your friend comes in town. He want to know if you could just hang out. Fuck no. Not at a certain time of night. No. Not calling at a certain time of night. No.
Right.
It's cool if y'all hanging out in public where everybody can see, you know what I'm saying? But going to the dude is coming in town and going to his hotel room and all that shit. Nah, we ain't doing that. Having a dude over at the crib while I'm not there. No. Definitely a no, because I wouldn't do that. I would give you the same respect. Like at this point, nobody's allowed in my house female wise if she's not here.
Right. Well, that's a smart move.
That's just out of respect because I don't need no kind of ruckus going on in my house.
Right.
All over a friendship. A friend is going to know their boundaries. Plain and simple. We ain't doing that like out of respect. If I'm in a relationship, you come second tier. I'm not going to cut my friends off. We're not going to do that because my friends have been there before the relationship. You just got to find a way to coincide with what we got going on instead of feeling like something always going on. Y'all got to coincide together. Like, my number one goal is to make you comfortable with my friend and vice versa.
But I think that's a problem sometimes, that people aren't honest. If you have female friends and your partner don't know who they are, then we have a problem. If you're like, I'm gonna go hang out with so-and-so and it's totally platonic and we all chilling together and everybody's good, that's fine. But when that boundary of like you not being honest no more, then that's not just your friend.
Yeah, I got a best friend that I've known pretty much my whole entire life since 4th grade. And in my mind, she's always been one of the guys. Still to this day, she's one of the guys. We never look at her as anything less. You know what I'm saying? She was a tomboy. She can outrun, outfight, out-hustle everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we always looked at her like that. So I think, it's a shock when I come through and be like, yeah, I got a female best friend, and they be like, all them years you never thought about it? No. Like, it's certain boundaries in the friendship that you don't cross. Like, you could ruin the whole friendship by crossing a boundary that has been set for years.
Yeah, and then you can't come back. You can't come back from that. Like, there's no like, let's just pretend this didn't happen. And even relationship or no relationship, even if you're not with someone, that friendship is not going to be the same after that. Yeah. No matter what you say, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah,
because y'all are not going to be the same people in it anymore.
If you're going to have friends of the opposite sex, you got to have open communication with your partner.
That's right.
At all times. Even if you don't feel comfortable, you still got to have open communication. I respect you a lot more, with you being open and honest with me at all times. I don't
understand why you wouldn't be comfortable, because this is your partner. If you can't be comfortable with your partner, who are you comfortable with? So it really shouldn't be, well, I don't feel comfortable. That means that there's something going on in y'all relationship that y'all need to figure out.
Because I let you know ahead of time, like, I'm concerned about this. I don't really like how he's around all the time. These are my fears. Like, you got to put your fears and thoughts on the table, and don't just hope that they'll figure it out. They'll catch on to the hints. No, you got to be open. Like, listen, I don't mind him being around. He around too much.
Right.
Playing.
And that goes to the topic you have here, because jealousy and insecurity are not the same thing. And people need to understand that. Someone being insecure and feeling like they maybe are not living up to somebody's standards, not good enough, someone looks better than them, they're prettier, they got more money, whatever they can, that's an insecurity. And jealousy, it don't got nothing to do with that. You could be jealous of someone because they get more attention than you are.
Yeah.
So you got to really know, are you feeling insecure or are you feeling jealous? Is there something that you want that you're not getting? Because jealousy to me is something that you want that you don't have. Like, when I'm jealous, it's because I want, that car, that sneakers, or that house, like they have it and I want that. I'm jealous. But insecurity is me going like, damn, am I pretty enough? Am I cool enough? Why doesn't this person give me that attention? Why? That's insecurity. So I think we really need to know what the difference of the two is, because you could be jealous of your partner having a friend of the opposite sex, meaning that that person is getting your time and attention and affection over there. Or you could be insecure thinking, wow, this person is really good looking and what they doing over there. That's the insecurity.
Yeah. And I think with that, you could also be jealous of the bonds that your partner and their friend have. You see the closeness, like, that chemistry, that they can laugh, they can joke, they can talk to each other about whatever. And that's the kind of bond that you might have, but their bond is a little different.
Right.
And because of that, you might feel left out. You might feel, like it's an inside joke going on and you're the only one that's not in on it, because that's just based off of their, like I said, their time.
I don't know. I kind of feel when it comes to that like you're not in on it.
Yeah.
You're not. And you gotta accept that. You gotta accept like if I meet someone and I'm in a relationship and they have a best friend and I have a best friend, you gotta understand that that's a relationship that they had before I got there, you know, and people are allowed to have other relationships in their life besides just the romantic relationship they have with you. So I think it's really important to be like, oh, well, you know, you guys leave me out of things. Yeah, because not everything is for you. You know, I was married for a long time. My husband used to have people come over and they used to do like poker nights and stuff like that. I would come downstairs, say hi, order them some food, and then I go back up to my room. Like, that's not my thing. Those are your friends. That's your thing. You know, I don't feel like I have to be in your thing. Your thing is your thing. And so you can have friends.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you feel that as a way to cover the jealousy or the insecurity, do you feel like you have to step out and make friends with this person just to ease?
I really think that people that don't have friends, and I've been one of those people at one point in my life, are going to be jealous. You're going to be jealous because here goes your partner living a life that you're not living, right? Here goes somebody in your life that's doing all these things with other people and you don't have other people to do those things with. But that's not their fault. That's not on them. Like you don't have any friends. That you need to go to therapy, work through that. Like what the hell? Why you don't got no friends? You know, why aren't you holding on to your relationships? Why aren't you reaching out? And I get it. Like people have kids and they have work and they have families. And, you know, that kind of dies down, especially when the kids are really young. We ain't going nowhere. It's a sitter. It's too much. But at some point, you still have to maintain your relationships and your identity outside of your relationship. And so the jealousy is not going to be so bad when you're indulging in the same things. Like I'm going to brunch with my friends. Okay, I'm going to brunch with my friends. I'm going to the gym with this person. I'm going to go, you know, play bingo with so-and-so, or we going to go get our head. It's fine. But when there's one person in the relationship doing it and the other person isn't, that's when we're going to see a lot of that jealousy because it's like, you're with that person all the time and you're not with me. Well, that's because you here all the time and you don't got nothing else to do. I think people got to really look at that too. Like, am I jealous because I don't have the same thing? And what am I doing about that? Or are you legitimately jealous because your guy or your girl is really spending all their time with someone else? Like, how legitimate is it? Because I don't want to be with someone either that like spends every moment on the phone with their best friend and it's a female. It's like, damn, like, bro, like it's how come every time I get in the car, you on the phone with her? Like every time though? Like that's a little bit excessive.
Now, I do think that sometimes partners concoct things in their head and don't even give the best friend a chance. Like through the door, they've already put it in their head. They fucking. I don't like her already. She too pretty. I don't like him. Blah blah blah. Like I've done it. I've already gave you a failing grade, and I ain't even said what's up to you yet.
Because the best friend always gonna have your back. So we already know off the strength of that no matter what go down, your best friend gonna have your back. And then when it's the opposite sex, it's like, oh, come on now, man. And then don't let them look good. Because then it's going to be like, nah, come on, man. Now you know everything. Because every time we fight, they going to tell. Now, you know what I mean? It is a very sensitive place.
And that's crazy too, because best friends share everything. Yeah. So all the tea, all the drama, all the bullshit, they know more about your relationship than you do.
Yeah.
So,
they know.
It's crazy because a lot of times what I've noticed is you got to give people a chance. Got to give them a chance. Before you get to judging, you got to give people a chance. And I know it's hard, but it can be done.
I think before we even start judging the best friend, we got to really like, do I want to embrace this person for my partner too? Like if this is my partner's friend, why I don't want to be their friend? Why I don't want them to have a relationship with someone and be happy, you know? Mm-hmm. And then like you said, when it's the opposite sex, there's this negative connotation in the world, right? That men and women can't be friends. Like it's on all everybody podcasts talk about it. Everybody always says this, that like men and women can't be friends. Like they cannot just be friends. And I don't know if I don't personally believe that. I have a lot of male friends. I don't want to sleep with them. I have no interest whatsoever to sleep with them. I'll babysit their kids. I'm their kids' godmother, bring them over, drop them off. Like we cool. Yeah. I've met 6 of your girlfriends. You know, I'll nod and say yes, because that's who you want to date. Like in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't like that one, but whatever. You know, but I personally don't feel like men and women can't be friends, but there's a lot of people that do. So the minute they see somebody of the opposite sex, there's already something in their mind that is like, nah, this can't be real. This can't be good.
Okay. So I do want to give this tip though. I hate when women, and I've done this, so I'm a victim to this too, and a suspect. Avoid ultimatums. Okay. Don't ever try to have your partner choose between you and their friends. It'll never work out because they might pick you.
They might not.
But they might pick you. They might be like, you know what? Screw my friends. I pick you. So they might be like, you know what? I pick you. But they're going to resent that shit. All right? Because reluctantly, I'm going to pick what I lay with and what I come to all the time. Why couldn't you just find a way to make this work without giving me an ultimatum? Like, I'm going to resent the fuck out of you for this shit. Like,
I think that ultimatums don't help sometimes, most of the time. I think the only ultimatum that I'm with is like, are we getting married or not? That's the only ultimatum I'm with. You know, is this going somewhere or not? But when you put someone in a position and you force them to choose, I feel like that's already them telling you what they want or don't want. You just want to hear somebody say it. Right? Or you just want to use your authority and throw your weight around. Because that's what an ultimatum is. Well, if you really love me, they're like that's like narcissism. Like, if you really love me, you'll do this. If you really like, yo, I love you, but why do I have to give up parts of me? So I don't really think at any point like that is a good idea in a relationship, unless it's like, are we going to do this or are we not going to do this? Let me know right now so I could get on with my life. But outside of them questions, oh, well, choose me or your friends, me or your mother, me or your sister, me or bro, at some point in time, I'm gonna be like, yo, I done gave up everything. You could go.
Because that's how it's gonna start. It starts with just the friends and then it elevates.
Yeah, but it's really about control and leverage.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yep. Like you gotta get rid. And don't get me wrong, if you got to also understand, because sometimes women too will be like, oh, well, he got to get rid of his friends. I don't like them. They're no good for him. You know, his friends do this, his friends do that. Like, your man is your man. He's going to do what he's going to do, whether his friends are there or not. They're going to, if something's going down and he want to participate, he's going to participate. And if he don't want to, he's not going to. The quality of a person is the quality of a person. And if you can't trust that person and be comfortable with that person, there ain't no, like, there's 200-pound guys. Ain't nobody forcing them to do nothing, you know? So you gotta, you blaming somebody else for the actions of your partner means that you really need to take a look at your relationship with your partner.
I mean, some people are really secure with their partner and they know what their partner will and won't do no matter who's around.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to have that confidence, like, whatever they do when I ain't around, I know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
I know they have more respect for themselves than that. Yeah. Like, and that's the kind of confidence you want to instill in your relationship. Like, yo, listen, we don't always have to spend every hour of the day together. I trust you when you ain't around, and that's how you build character. Now, once you break that trust, even the slightest, now we got to set some boundaries with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in giving you the rope and letting you do, either you going to use it to navigate over to the next bridge or you're going to use it to hang yourself. Right. One or the other. But I believe that I know who I'm dealing with. So if you know your partner, you know who you're dealing with, you know who you are involved with, then you got nothing to worry about. But now you got to understand, there are a lot of dudes who have been with a lot of women in their life. And they get to the point of, damn, my best friend looking real good. She doing amazing things. I see the way that she treating all these dudes that she been with. This is what I want. You have a lot of dudes out here that will suppress their feelings.
That is true.
Until they can't anymore. You know what I'm saying? Man, I like you. I've always liked you. I've always felt like we'll be good together. Like, it's called picking your spots.
Right.
A lot of times dudes will do that. Women will do that.
Mm-hmm.
They will pick their spots. They won't say nothing until they absolutely have to.
Right.
Your wedding
Or
day.
they see it in.
Yeah. I got some homies who have dropped the ball all into the woman that they wanted was finna get married, and they just decided, you know what? I'm gonna go for broke. I'm a speak on it now. And I'm like, yo,
why
she a day away from getting married, dog. Like, why do this now? So I always tell people, honestly, best friends and all of that, if you got feelings, go ahead on and clear that out now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't wait until this person is happy and they're building and they're in love and they're living life to try to throw a monkey into the situation. Like, that's bogus as hell.
Or keep it to yourself and then you don't need to say nothing.
Yeah, because now you ain't got respect for that friendship. You ain't got respect for her relationship, his relationship. And 9 times out of 10, if you're a real partner and your best friend tries to come on to you, you have to tell your mate. You just have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I knew that you knew that this dude had feelings for you and you didn't say nothing to me and you continue to hang out. Yeah, you continue to hang out with him and play like it was nothing and we ain't doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I think also we need to think about, like, when we're having these conversations, like, what does that look like and what does that sound like for people to be able to communicate? Because sometimes people don't communicate outright and just say what it is. They be like going around the bend and playing games. Like, you have to just be outright and have these conversations. Like, it is what it is, because someone, like, these people have to respect your relationship. So that's the next thing I was going to say. Like, also, when you have friends, they need to know their boundaries. Like, I'm really big on boundaries with people. And I feel like if you have a friend, male or female, and that's your best friend or not your best friend, but y'all been cool since high school, I don't really care how long you've been friends and how close you are, but there has to be some healthy boundaries. Like, I had a male friend. He was one of my best friends. He's still a really good friend to me. He was married. I used to watch their kids. I know his wife. I would go over there and hang out, take my kids over there, take my husband over there, all of that. But there was a certain time of the night, like, I wouldn't call him after that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, we would text during the day. We worked together. We made money together. Like, it was great. But there was a certain time, like, we had certain boundaries in our relationship where, even though we were really comfortable and we were best friends, and he would tell me things that's happening at home and and I'd be like, all right, whatever, I got you. How can I help? There was still a boundary. Like, I didn't go back to his wife and say this and that. I didn't, call and make no rah-rah. I think also there has to be some boundaries, because there's some people that have really good friends and they've been friends for 20 years. And then somebody gets married and then they're up in the house acting like they don't have respect for this new relationship either. I think that's where it draws the line at. Like, it has to be, don't call me after 10 o'clock unless it's like an emergency. Yeah. The house is on fire, somebody breaking in, some shit like that. Yeah, cool. Because you can't be the chick that, like, oh, but this is my best friend's house. I used to come over here all the time. Yeah. I know where this is in the kitchen. Come on, I'll cook. And now there's a woman that lives here and this is her house. Yep. You gotta respect that. You have moved down on the hierarchy. Like, and vice versa. As a man, it's like, this is my woman. I take care of her. I fix this. I fix that. That alpha male is going to show up and you got to let him be that alpha male. So best friend is going to have to be like, I can come and help. Yeah. I told her, I'm like, yo, she like, yeah, I got a friend. He comes over here. He mounts TVs and all that shit. I said, nah, we cool on that now. We don't need him. I can mount your TV. I can cut your grass. I can do all that stuff now. It's all good. He want to come over and hang out. Cool. But the man of the house shit that you so used to having him do, he ain't got to do that no more. And when he comes over now, he not sitting in that man seat. He got to go sit in another seat. Like, you don't get the big piece of chicken. You don't get the big piece of steak. Like, and you really have to understand what your role is and your boundary. It's not that you're not still a good friend. Mm-hmm. It's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't appreciate your relationship. I just need you to understand the boundaries, because there's also another relationship in my life. Yep.
And that's the most important one at that time.
And
Like,
if you really my friend,
you gonna respect that. I'm not gonna say, nah, we can't be friends no more because I got this. No, we still friends. We still rolling. But the closeness that we had is different now. Out of respect for this woman that I'm seeing, dealing with, and this man that you dealing with, I'ma fall back. If my best friend, when she had got with her child's father, and I remember this. I had came into town just to visit, catch up with everybody. So she came and picked me, my kids, and my kids' mother up, dropped us off at the hotel, hung out with us at the hotel, all this and all that. When she left, I guess her dude seen the texts with the hotel address and shit, and he spazzed the fuck out. He thought it was just me.
I mean,
so I can see why.
You can understand that.
So when he pulled back up with
Damn,
her.
he pulled up.
Yeah, she brought him back, and I had to explain to him.
Hell yeah, she brought him back.
Like, yo, I'm here with the kids and the missus. It ain't even that kind of party.
Yeah.
And then after that,
she's smart.
Me and him, we kicked it. We had whole conversations, and then now that trust was already there. Like, he understood, like, yo, this man ain't on this with her. Cool. Right. So now it would be, I could come to the crib and he don't even say nothing or trip or get mad or nothing like that, because he knows what it is. Sometimes you gotta establish that you, the best friend, you gotta come in and establish that trust through the door. Like, listen, this ain't that kind of party. We friends. We ain't gonna be nothing but friends. I ain't interested. We ain't moving like that. We don't do like that. If she with you, it's respect. You family. We look at you like family. That's what it is. So in return, your partner is gonna tone down their insecurity and they feelings. Like, okay. They came and introduced themselves. They let me know they ain't on this. Cool. Sometimes all people need is reassurance. Like, all right, cool. And then once that's settled, a lot of your problems gonna dampen a little bit because you establish that trust through the door. This is my homie. This is my friend. Y'all sit back. Y'all get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you come off like that to me, I'm going to respect you even more, as opposed to you just running around, sneaking around, hiding.
And I don't know what's going on, because in his defense, he see a text message saying go to a hotel and you don't answer. You don't respond. She did the right thing. She was like, get in the car. I'm going to take you over there. You can meet him. You can meet his wife. You can meet his kid. That's how you keep the lines of communication open. And there's no insecurity, because it's like, yo, she shared everything. Here's the phone. Here's meet my peoples. We're going to eat tomorrow. We're going to do this. And then it's like, all right, cool. I know who you are. But if you are in a relationship and you are not sharing with your partner these things, then they're going to feel insecure. And it's going to be your fault because you have let things happen that made them feel uncomfortable.
I can't really call you my best friend if you don't know this part of my life.
Right.
I can't, and vice versa. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you my partner, you need to know all aspects of my life. You need to be, I ain't saying you got to be buddy and friends too, but you need to know that this part of my life is important to me.
Right.
Like, my friend is important. My friendships are important. You don't know what me and this person have went through in the 20-some years we done known each other. So it is up to me to bring you into that. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know, and the reason why I always say I will never turn my back on my friends, because I remember whose couches I had to sleep on when I got into it with my pops at 13, 14. I had a place to rest my head when I had nowhere else to go. Like, those type of things, you don't turn your back on those type of people. I don't care who I'm dealing with.
Right.
So I established that through the door. Like, these are my friends.
Right.
All right. And if you're going to be a part of that, then a part of my life, then you need to understand that that's just what it is. We friends. We don't dibble and dabble. We ain't messed around. We ain't going to mess around. This ain't that kind of party. Right. So I think once you settle some type of control through the door, like, listen, we friends. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Boom. Now that wall is down a little bit, because you also don't know what your partner has gone through with so-called best friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, he pretended that was his best friend. They really was fucking. I've seen it.
All the time.
I've
All
done
the time. That's the narrative.
I think it's just one of those things that you just gotta have open line of communication. You gotta talk about it. You gotta have that discussion. And if you feel like you can't handle your partner being friends with somebody of the opposite sex, don't make them choose. You choose. I can't deal with it. I'm not gonna try to deal with it. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get myself out of this situation.
Right.
Because that's the best thing for me, because my insecurities level is high. Like, I don't really trust this dude around you. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you, and we can have that conversation. Listen, I don't trust this dude around you. You can say he your friend all you want to. I don't trust. You know how growing up your mama be like,
I don't like your friend.
Them ain't your friends. And then you find out down the line that ain't your friend.
That's right. Your mama was right.
So sometimes you gotta listen. You gotta have that conversation. Like, yo, you gotta be on point. You can't just say, I don't like your friend because I don't like your friend. Nah, you gotta go into actual details. Listen, I don't like the way they be looking at you when you come in the room, when you walk out the room. Nah. You gotta.
You definitely know.
I'm not doing it. Like that energy is different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you are secure with yourself and your abilities, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. But it's still a respect thing. Like, you know, I've had to pull dudes to the side and be like, you know what? It's a respect thing. Respect what's going on here. But now the hanging out in the wee hours and the, you know what I'm saying, the calling and coming over whenever you want to and all that, you can't be doing that.
Right. But then I feel like on the flip side of that, your partner also has to understand that relationship might be causing some insecurities in you. And instead of going, I don't care, or he just gonna have to deal with it, or she just gonna have to deal with it, that is the time when we're talking about insecurity, that is the time also, yes, where you have to reassure them. Like, yo, they just playing around, or he always like that, but like, I don't like him like that. It's not like that. He just stupid. Whatever it is, you have to give your partner that reassurance to let them know, like, nah, me and you, we're good. Like, I'm not doing nothing. So no matter what anybody else says, because I think sometimes people are insecure, and instead of saying, like, imagine you go to your partner and you be like, I don't like the way that guy look at you. I don't like that he calling here this time. And she go, well, that's your problem because we've been friends for forever.
Facts.
Who you want to? Because I would be like, so who you want to be in a relationship with, me or him? Because
Because now I'm finna have a problem, because first time I'm gonna say something to you.
The next time I'm gonna say something to him, but then like you're not respecting me either. And I feel like that respect comes from your partner. Like your partner's the one that's gonna draw the boundaries. Like, yo, you tell your man, I'm finna have to tell you to tell your friend to calm down. You as my woman or you as my man should know, like
even with, because she'll be like, oh, well, I'm best friends with my kids' fathers. Okay, cool. Okay. Y'all best friends. But
and I having sleepovers.
Level of respect. Hey, listen. It's a level of respect. I don't too much care about kids' fathers and all that stuff. That's your best friend, whatever. But just make sure he understand that y'all just friends. Ain't nothing more. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes a lot of kids' fathers, like my child's mother, one of my children's mothers is literally one of my best friends. And we have that respect where we just friends.
Right.
We're not dabbling into the past. We're friends. We co-parent very well. I raise my kid, she raises him, and we leave it at that. And I think that's what it's about. Like, it has to be that type of respect. Like, both parties, there's three parties in this. All three parties got to know their level and where they stand at. So I think once that's on the table, everything works out. So you got to know how to navigate everything and just keep it 100% open.
Yeah. And then on the jealousy level, because we talked about insecurity, I think on the jealousy level, I think it's also communication, because you can't be spending all of your time with your best friend. Like, your partner wants as much time, if not more, and so anybody on either side, male or female, is going to be like, damn, well, you spending more time with so-and-so than you spending time with me. And so you just have to really be conscious about like the time that you put and the effort that you put into your romantic relationship, the same way you put the time and the effort into your friendship. You know, and I know I have a best friend, and I don't think about calling my best friend like it's a job. I just get on the phone and be like, I got to tell her what happened today. Like this, guess what? And you just do it. But your relationship with your partner, they're going to need that time and that effort too. And so if they tell you like, yo, like I'm jealous, like this person gets all the phone calls, they get all the text messages, they're getting all of your time, you do all these things with them, but you don't do as many things with me, then you really need to sit back and think about like, all right, cool. I may not want to change the things with my best friend because they make me happy, but then I got to up my game with my partner.
Facts. All that buddy couple shit that y'all used to do. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't having that. Like, I can't change y'all dynamic because y'all got children together and vice versa. Right. But I can put up some boundaries. All right, listen, that's just the kid's father. That's not your man.
Right.
That's not your husband. That's not none of that. That's just the kid's father. Right. His first responsibility is to them kids. Right. And vice versa. Like my first responsibility is to my children. They mother, I will always look out for them just based off the gifts that they gave me with these children. I will always look out for them. But if they have a man or a woman in their house, I know my place.
Right.
I'm there for my children and I'm going about my business.
Yeah.
I've always set my own set of rules with who they deal with. Respect her in front of my kids, and respect my kids. That's it.
That's it.
I don't care what you do. I don't care what y'all do. I don't care about y'all life. Long as my kids are not in any type of danger, I don't care. Like, it ain't my problem. It ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? Long as you ain't putting your hands on her or putting your hands on my children, I don't care.
But I think we need more people like that. We need a whole nother podcast on that topic. Because a lot of people can't do that. They don't know how to mind their business. Like I have a great relationship. I don't have a great relationship. I have a decent enough relationship with my ex-husband. We are, I wouldn't say we're best friends. We are not best friends. We speak here and there. We talk. We cool. You know, ain't no beef, ain't no drama. Just your people is your people. My people is my people. Ain't no drama. We see each other. We get along great. And that's that. I stay out of your life. You stay out of my life. We co-parent when we need a co-parent. We could get together. But a lot of times people don't know where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering why it's not working for you.
And you wonder why you can't keep a man around, because that man has to deal with you and your past and this person and that person.
You're not managing your shit.
Yeah, it's too much. Shit. I don't care about what he used to do. He's not doing it now. And if he or you can't set that boundary, then I have a boundary for you. I'm gonna go ahead on and remove myself, because I'm not playing Three's Company too. God damn it, that ain't what we doing over here. Listen, Karynelle, you got some words of wisdom for the good people. You know,
let's see, my words of wisdom for the people that are in any type of relationship, your friendship, romantic relationship. I think it's best for you to just keep communication open. And sometimes it's hard to start those conversations. So what I learned was like people need to have like relationship check-ins.
Facts.
You know, like you take your car and they like check the oil and they make sure everything running the way it's supposed to be running. I think that people need to have like check-ins in their relationships. Like, yo, is our quarter check-in, our 6-month check-in, our 1 year, our 5 year? I don't know, pick however often, but it's an opportunity for us to bring up the things that we need to talk about.
Facts.
In a safe space, right? Because I could bring it up right away. Yes, because I'm the type of person to do that. But some people are not. So create a space where you could be like, okay, we just going to have a check-in. Like, how is this going for you? You know, are you good?
Safe space.
Yeah. Do you need anything? And again, this is a whole nother topic, because when we talk about safe space, it's just a hot mess what people think a safe space is.
Facts.
Safe space means that I could be emotionally vulnerable here, not physically safe. Because some people are like, well, you are safe. You don't think you're safe with me? No, not if you're talking to me like that. You know what I mean? Facts. It has to be a place where you're listening and you're hearing And you're allowing me to be emotionally vulnerable in this space. And you want to hear, because I can talk and you don't want to listen. And then it's a waste of my time. So creating a space and a check-in where you could just be like, all right, how is this going? Do you feel insecure? Where is that coming from? Did I do something wrong? Or is it something that happened to you? And being able to have those conversations in a healthy way so that your partner understands what you need. Because it might just be you need some reassurance. It might just be I want to meet that person you're talking to. It might be I had a bad experience when I was 6 and I haven't been able to get over it, and we need to go talk to your mom and pops. I don't know. But I think creating a space, and people be like, but we've been together for 10 years. We don't need to do that. No, you still need to do that. Sometimes y'all need to do that more than anybody else.
Y'all know, for me, man, just talk to your partner. Reach out to them. Let them know that, you know, your fears, your doubts, your concerns. And don't attack them with it, though. Just let them know, like, hey, it's some stuff that's going on that I feel like we need to talk about. And if we just talk about it, it will clear my mind and ease what I feel a little bit more. Like, it's okay to be jealous, but it's a such thing as being over jealous. Right. Like, you got to understand that in his eyes, you are the prettiest, whatever. But just because I feel that way doesn't mean you feel that way. You might run into another woman that he's cool with, or a man that she's cool with, and feel like, damn, that's tough. You friends with them? Y'all just friends? Come on now. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky sometimes, but I think open conversation can pull it together. And on the next episode of I'll Explain All This Later, we're going to have a talk. The talk that we're going to have is about moving on. Okay. And I think that's one of those ones where, yeah, sometimes you have to. It may be the hardest shit in the world to move on, but you have to. And we're going to talk about it on the next one. Karynelle, let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you at, all that good stuff.
Gosh. So this weekend, I'm in Harlem on 125th Street in New York City, hosting a street summer stage for Harlem Week. So you can catch me there Saturday and Sunday. I'll be hosting both days. So come out and check me out there. We're uptown in Harlem. New episodes of Say It Loud podcast are back in September. So you can check me out on all streaming platforms there. And then in the interim, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I think that's it right now, because I can't be bothered with all the other ones. But you can follow me at I am Karynelle. I am Karynnelle. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Listen, as always, I appreciate you.
Of course.
Listen, y'all don't understand that anytime I reach out to this woman, she delivers. So that's genuine, you know, of her, because she does a lot, like she just said. And the only thing that she tells me is go to the calendar, make a date, and we in there.
And we do it.
We in here. So, man, listen, I appreciate you. Like I said, you are. I started this podcast and I said that I wasn't going to have any guests. So, you know, plans change. I had to pivot, and I pivot to the ones that I know that's going to come through and talk that talk. And you are one of them ones to me. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all go tap in with Miss Karynelle. I am going to post links and everything at the end of this episode. Y'all go tap into Say It Loud podcast. Y'all come tap with us next week. Y'all already know what it is. I catch y'all when I catch y'all. I'm out.
Thanks for listening to I'll Explain All This Later. Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And join us again next time for more outlandish takes on relationships and the dating life.